Warning from hospitality bosses. The energy crisis could see the closure of pubs across the UK. They've sent an open letter to ministers. They say that without government support, landlords may call last orders, but for good.
If we keep increasing the costs of beer and food, the customers won't come out anymore, they can't afford it.
And we'll be looking at how the cost of living crisis is already hampering the government's levelling up plans. Also on the programme. An inquest into the death of 9-year-old Olivia Pratt-Corbell. Here's how police officers tried to save her life. The worst floods in Pakistan's history. The UN launches an emergency appeal. Its chief says the region is a climate crisis hotspot.
Pakistan is responsible only for a tiny proportion of global emissions, but it's people here who are paying the price for climate change.
Meghan tells a US magazine that just existing was enough to upset the dynamics of the royal hierarchy.
And the families of 3 men murdered by Stephen Port have received payments from the Met Police over its investigatory failings. The serial killer and rapist is serving a whole life term for murdering 4 gay men in Barking. The deaths of the men weren't regarded as suspicious by the force until weeks after the 4th murder. Eurostar has said it will axe its direct service between London and Disneyland Paris to focus on core routes. The firm blamed the pandemic, saying the route will be axed from June next year. A lorry has crashed on the A3, destroying an overhead gantry near New Malden and Tolworth. The accident happened this afternoon and is still causing major delays for drivers heading towards the capital.
A drought has been declared across the whole of southwest England as the region continues to face some of the driest conditions in almost 90 years. Bristol, Somerset, Dorset, South Gloucestershire and parts of Wiltshire now join the rest of the southwest as designated drought areas. The Environment Agency said the recent rainfall hasn't been enough to restore water levels. Engineers have today been trying to find out why the Royal Navy's £3 billion new flagship aircraft carrier broke down at the start of its voyage to the US. HMS Prince of Wales has been stranded off the south coast after a mechanical fault halted its journey on Saturday shortly after leaving Portsmouth Naval Base.
After weeks of uncertainty, a deal has been done to secure long-term funding for London's public transport system. But what will it mean for commuters?
I've got to be honest with Londoners. This deal is far from ideal. There is still a massive funding gap.
Well, the Mayor actually asked for 3.6 billion. He's got just about 3.6 billion. If it was good enough for him then, I don't see why it's the wrong figure now.
If you think you've had a busy summer, meet the Londoner who's run 3,000 kilometres down the Danube in a world first.
The TV presenter Sarah Beeny has revealed she's receiving treatment for breast cancer, best known for her work on property shows. The 50-year-old TV star said she's having chemotherapy and is scheduled to have a mastectomy in the new year. And Ofcom will not be taking any action over thousands of complaints alleging this year's Love Island reality TV series showed misogynistic and bullying behaviour. The regulator said any negative behaviour wasn't shown in a positive light. Amazon has ploughed huge sums of money into its latest screen epic, a series that is a prequel to the Lord of the Rings saga. Some say The Rings of Power, with its all-star cast and lavish settings and effects, is the most expensive television series ever made.